Alright, so we almost done for today, so probably gonna do. Uh, probably do three more, and that's it. But right now, we're gonna react to why martial art is great for mental health, of course, by um, Warrior Martial Arts. Okay, Warrior Martial Art. Okay, so still has to continue on the whole mental health awareness month, of course, just in case. But um, but I'm still wondering if I would be ready to start martial arts, because even though I'm still trying my best to pull myself together, not being too much negative every single time. But I know I've been like stressed out, of course, just in case. So yeah, but let's check it out in five, four, three, two.
I think most people are aware of the physical benefits when training martial arts. It's obviously great cardiovascular training, it's got some flexibility and mobility work in there, some strength work, some power. It covers a lot of bases for your physical well-being. What I think doesn't get discussed enough, or at least not championed enough, is how good it is for your mental well-being. The issues surrounding mental health has had a spotlight put on it in the last decade, and for good reason, especially men's mental health, which has almost been a taboo topic for a long time. Men are getting far more comfortable talking about their issues and actually dealing with them. I think a big catalyst for this was the pandemic and all the lockdowns, and what the lockdowns did is they kind of forced us out of a lot of the activities that we would do and maybe take for granted. And things like martial arts training, I think a lot of people realized just how important it was for their own mental well-being. So today I thought we'd go over 5 reasons why martial arts is great for your mental health. Let's start with the big one, which is gets you off your mobile phone. This list isn't in any particular order, but if it was, this would be number 1. I'm going to try not to rant on this too much, but it's something I feel very strongly about. I think mobile phones are one of the most damaging things to ever happen to human beings. There's no way around it, we're completely addicted to them. We're spending more and more time staring at these screens, refreshing the pages, and generally consuming a whole bunch of media through them that is affecting our minds in ways that we still don't actually even understand. The companies that design these phones and the apps that go on them have got one purpose in mind, and that really is to make them as addictive as possible. To keep your attention, because this is an attention economy, what they do is they trade your attention for advertising dollars, and that's how they make their money. So all these apps are designed to do is to keep you on them for as long as possible. The great thing about martial arts training is you put your phone away. It goes in your gym bag, you step on those mats, and there's really no reason to look at it for at least an hour. Now, I'll admit I have issues in my classes with my members checking their phones on drink breaks. Now, there's only so much you can do to stop stuff like this, but at least they're taking some reprieve. There's some time spent away from these refreshing devices and this constant dopamine hit that you get from refreshing and looking at your smartphone. And in all fairness, time away from your phone also helps with number 2, which is that it forces you to socialize with people more. A big problem with this move to a more digital world is that it becomes really difficult to create real human connection with people. We're not making new friends the way we were. We're not meeting new people the way we were. Even dating and stuff has moved online to things like Tinder. Now, maybe you're not a socially awkward weirdo like myself and you don't find this to be so much of an issue, but for me personally, martial arts has allowed me to meet some of my closest friends, and it's even the place that I met my now wife. One of the most beautiful things about it is that it forces you to interact with people that you probably otherwise never would, and find common ground amongst them. In any one of my classes, I've got people ranging from doctors to tradesmen to students to sales assistants from all different races, creeds, sexual preferences, religions, all coming together, singing Kumbaya and punching each other in the face. It's beautiful. Number 3 is exercise. There's a ton of research to support that regular and consistent exercise is one of the best things you can do for your mental health. There's a real connection between our mind and our body that often gets forgotten about. We often think that it's a mental health problem, so we need to deal with what's going on in the mind, and we don't think about how it's connected to what our body is doing day to day. From the real simple stuff to exercising releases feel-good hormones. You've all heard about the endorphin kick when you go for a run. The same thing happens when you do things like martial arts. Any long sustained cardio session is going to release and fill you with these feel-good hormones like endorphins. But the other things it does is it gives you kind of trickling off benefits from after you train. It makes you more tired, which means that you sleep better. Sleep and good sleep is a huge element of mental health. It generally speaking means that you're going to want to eat better, eat healthy meals or drink more water, do things that are going to support your training for the sake of supporting your training, but as a side effect, and a very welcome one, helping your mental state as well. Now this of course could be any exercise, but if you're anything like me, the idea of going to the gym 5 days a week and lifting some weights and walking on a treadmill makes me want to shoot myself. But finding an exercise that you really enjoy, finding a sport or an activity that you love to do, it helps make exercise to be almost effortless. I can train for anything up to 3 or 4 hours and it doesn't feel like exercise. At no point do I feel like I'm working out. I'm too busy having a good time to even notice. Number 4, vent frustration. Did you see Will Smith smack Chris Rock at the Oscars? Talk about someone who clearly has a lot going on, mentally speaking, and it all bubbling to the surface and then showing itself in a really ugly light. Now, we're not going to get all into that exact situation, but how many times have you seen it where you've seen someone get really angry, let's say maybe it's a traffic situation, and suddenly they're screaming and shouting and maybe even physically acting out in a completely irrational way compared to what the situation probably called for. In reality, for most of these people, there's stuff that's been going on in their lives. There are mental issues that they're carrying and that are building up over time, and they've never had anywhere to put it. They've never been able to vent it. Stress is something that's cumulative, and we deal with it all the time. Every day you are dealing with a level of stress, whether that be stress about making enough money, stress about looking after your family, stress about people at work or at school, and all it does is it collects in this big vat, this big mental vat of stress. And it's a pressure vacuum, so this vat has a lid on it and there's only so much you can put in it. So eventually, if you just keep stacking it up, there's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Something's going to happen, it's going to trigger you, and you're going to go off, like the Will Smith situation. What martial arts provides is it's an opportunity to open a little vent, to crack the lid on stress and let some of it out in a very controlled and managed environment. The ability to hit a heavy bag, hit some pads, do a roll, do a sparring session, work with people you trust, and get out some of this pent-up frustration and anger is, for me, a completely invaluable part of my day. Finally, number 5, it challenges you. Throughout life, you're going to get put into tough and challenging situations. Maybe it's a weird thing that happens with your taxes. Maybe your partner cheats on you or leaves you, or your kid does something that you don't like. And you're going to be presented with an opportunity to respond to that situation. And we've all had it where a situation like that's occurred, and when we look back at it in hindsight, we think, oh, I really don't like the way that I handled that situation. I don't like the way I responded and reacted to that challenge. And if I could do it over, I probably would have done it differently. One of the greatest gifts that martial arts will give you is it's an opportunity to put a mirror up against yourself. You get to see how you're going to react in difficult situations. When the pressure is on, when there's nowhere to go, what are you going to do? Are you going to crumble? Are you going to cry? Are you going to point the blame at others? Or are you going to shut up, put the work in, and find a way? It's character building. It pushes you and it challenges you. So then when life does the same, when life comes to beat you up and push you and challenge you, you've already been in a similar situation. You've been to that place and you've come out the other side and you know that you can handle it. And that's a great thing to know about yourself. That's the real reason that martial arts breeds confidence. It's not that you're confident that you can now beat people up, or you're confident that you can handle yourself in a fight. It's you're confident you can handle yourself. You can manage all the feelings, all the stuff that goes on in your mind and in your heart when life throws it all at you. So there we have it, guys, some food for thought. If you do have mental health issues, please make sure you talk to someone, speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak to a healthcare professional. Martial arts is not by any means the solution, but my God, can it help. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, we got new videos coming every week, and I will see you on the next one.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, most of these are true because, I mean, believe me, I was like, using my phone just because I would try to focus on, to how to learn a lot of stuff from every martial arts of it. But I understand why it gets so many distractions of, while you're on your phone, of course. And I will try my best to, socialize everything that I would talk about some stuff, but the only problem is, I got nothing else to like talk about some. But if one of my groups or my training partner decide they wants to talk to me, and that's okay, cause I would, I would be having a lot of friends, of course, and whatever, some woman who, wants to get to know me, of course, I'm like, yeah, of course, because, I would love to talk about it, and while we're in a martial arts academy or schools or gyms, it just, helps me, focus on a lot of things. Well, without, having it on the phone, of course. So, yeah. But I agree on this because it's all about character building. It's all about build up your own characters to try to learn a lot of things, and just be be more positive in all ways, and everything that you try, and also exercise as well. It'll help you exercise. I mean, it'll help you lose some weight for as long as it takes. So that's how it is, man. I mean, I hope it might happens to me, of course. So yeah, but yeah, man. Let me know, comment down below what y'all think about it, and I'll see you in the next video.